Previously on Star Wars: Darkest Dawn. Our heroes have received another task from Lord Taurenar. The team is to rescue a man by the name of Randall Tantalo, a friend of their enigmatic benefactor from the Clone Wars. According to Lord Taurenar, Randall has made himself a liability, having become too good at his job, and has now found himself a target of rival Hutt lords, each with their own axe to grind. The team has a limited amount of time to rescue Randall before the Hutts manage to locate his position on Nar Shaddaa, the smuggler's moon. Their instructions were to get in, extract Randall safely, and sneak out without attracting undue attention to themselves. Unfortunately for them, shortly after arriving planetside, the team discovered someone attempting to sell slaves to recuperate his financial losses, and the team refused to move on without first freeing the slaves. Once the slaves were purchased, they were taken to a nearby hotel, where the team is laying low for the next phase of the mission.
What?
So you said a force spike. What dice would you use for that?
Well,
force point.
the force point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We all got one last game, and that's what I was trying to figure out the mechanic because I didn't make a force user, so I never looked into it.
Right. Yeah, when you're using those force points, it's more like good luck rather than anything else. Like, not even Jedi technically use those to fuel their abilities.
Well, we are back. We are live once again. I am now unmuted.
Important.
Yay!
Yay!
But not unbreaded?
Yeah, unbreaded. Touchdown. On pepper, unbreaded. Sorry, I love that. Oh,
Why is this not fancy? Good, nice.
let me turn the auto gain down on Colin because he was getting kind of loud there.
That's much better.
There we go. And let me hop down. Get Hope, come on. Yep.
She just wants to be close to you.
She does. I completely understand.
She wants to be on the
Close
screen.
to you. Da, 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 da. Hey, Hope.
Oh yeah. When we found her,
Come here, Darby.
there was no way it was just going to be a no. That was keeping her.
Oh, she got really attached to
Hey, Todd, you're gonna have to tilt the laptop down. You're too far.
Other
camera.
way around.
Is that better?
Oh, Dad got attached. to the
That's
guy.
fine. Just get someplace comfortable so we can keep you on camera. Is all.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, Dad got attached to Hope.
Oh.
I wasn't the only one. But we are about ready to play at this point, so we are going to forego conversations about pets. So the recap has already been dropped at the beginning of the episode. Obviously, we have Todd with us now, who will be joining us at a dramatically appropriate moment, as the phrase would go. For those of you watching, of course, we have some visuals now for Nar Shaddaa, so you might know what it looks like, both from seeing it from orbit, as well as being down on the planet side itself. So,
Ooh,
So it's Vegas.
beautiful planet.
basically,
Planet Vegas.
Look at that light grid.
Las Vegas.
that is.
Viva!
I mean, if you play through it on either game, Knights of the Old Republic or Star Wars: The Old Republic, that's exactly what it looks like.
Nice.
Vegas in space. We are picking up right where we left off. However, our heroes have just freed some slaves. You are laying low in a hotel room at this point, and waiting for the next phase, or trying to decide what it is you're going to do.
Oh my!
So I have a goal. I want to find an Imperial, what you're talking about, the Imperial identity point, so we can establish Colin's new identity, and then we all also have to go find this workshop with our contact.
Yes. What time? What time is it?
Good question. It's going to be hard to tell if you look outside, given the fact you're so low underground. Even if you were above ground, however, keep in mind there really isn't like a sun per se.
Right.
At best, it gets kind of like nighttime hazy. That's just kind of how the atmosphere of the planet works. But as far as clocks are concerned, by the time you touch down, we will say that it is probably close to 7 p.m. at this point.
Oh,
Somewhere around that time frame.
So people are still up running, are out and about, and
Yes.
Okay, all right. The slaves look like they've eaten their fill and are doing well. Oh wait, didn't we send them out with Ashi to get clothes and stuff?
Yeah, we were gonna have them get some normie clothes,
Right,
so we wouldn't be so obvious.
Right. There we go.
Okay.
And here we are. I'm dressed like the people.
I will leave it up to you guys to decide what you're going to do. Montan, to answer your question, what you're looking for is essentially like an Imperial processing center, specifically for like people coming and going for immigration purposes. It would be the best spot to do that at. There really isn't anything like that here on Nar Shaddaa because the Empire doesn't run it.
Okay.
Oh, we got to go to an Imperial space. Ew.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully Ashi returns soon with the clothes.
Well, no word as of yet. What are all of you doing as of this point?
Cooling our heels.
Yeah.
Looking at this workshop, where like trying to find a map to it.
Oh.
So once we get the clothes, what do we want to do? Do we want to have the slaves like walking with us, or are we going to keep them here and out of sight?
Well, isn't Ashi going to stay with them?
That was the idea that was put forth in the chat because she is not here for this game.
Okay, so Ashi stays with the indentured servants and
the rigorously employed.
The rigorously employed, yes. And I guess we'll make our way to the cafe and meet with our contact, whose name is
Ver Diontor.
a Zabrak.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, so I guess we'll just wait. Oh, I know. I'll call room service.
Okay.
Yes, could you bring up some toys, please?
He says, of course, right away. I will have that added to your bill.
Thank you.
And just hangs up from the pager.
Nasara gives him the side eye.
I'm trying to make this look like I'm having a bender. So I bought slaves, I have toys, and I'm slumming it in Nar Shaddaa. So it's pretty good pretty good cover story.
I'm
Sure.
pretty sure the toys are of a sentient variety.
Okay.
Much like the people that we have just brought.
Oh
into-
no, not more slaves. Oh. No. What did
You better hope they're not sentient.
I
baby.
thought they were toys?
Well,
I think Mike's prediction came true. A little ahead of schedule.
So there's a knock at the door.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Taika's gonna get up and open the door.
Okay. There is a pretty beat up protocol droid standing there.
Oh, perfect.
And he has a small little push cart with him. And he says, "Your toys, my lord."
Oh, thank you very much. And he'll grab the cart.
So you grab the cart, and you've never quite seen anything quite like this. You're able to recognize chains. Everything else is really bizarre. And there's a Kawookian monkey lizard sitting on the cart at this point, with like a little collar, you know.
Oh, okay. Oh God, what do we do with the lizard?
It grabs one of the toys and jumps over towards one of the slaves.
Nassar is gonna kind of jump in front of it.
Come back, little lizard man.
So he's like, so he starts chasing Nassara with it.
Oh no! Come. Oh, okay. I'm gonna rifle through the stuff and see if I can find a whip.
Oh gosh!
And then when I find said whip,
there's a yes, we'll say that there's something like that. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna whack it towards the little lizard and say, "No, stop, down."
Okay, so so that is going. You don't have any skill with that.
Can I use my archery?
No. What good question.
Thanks for asking.
He suddenly folds it up like a bow and then snaps it out there like all weird like.
He actually did. Look at that.
Okay, so it is going to be your base dexterity, and you need to minus. We'll say -3 off the roll.
All right. /R 3d6 less 3. 266 11.
Todd, you might want to log out of the Twitch chat on my laptop.
Got it. Boom.
Okay, so what'd you get?
11.
11. All right, so haha. So you crack that whip. The Kawookian monkey lizard saw something, coming real quick, jumps off, onto the bed, and unfortunately catches the Nassara right on one of the cheeks, and not the facial cheek.
Oh, okay.
Because a Kawookian monkey lizard's small, right? It's, so it was starting
Is
to
it like
climb
a
up her.
foot?
Yeah. I mean, it's at the Kawookian monkey lizard is what sat on Jabba's shoulder during the first part of Return of the Jedi.
The little
I
Muppet.
love that guy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
With the
true
ears.
story.
Right.
That character, the guys who made a lot of those puppets for like Return of the Jedi, well, Star Wars in general, during that time frame, they had been a part of Jim Henson's crew, obviously because they've got that skill set. But I guess their parting with Henson Studios was sort of acrimonious. So the creation of the Kawookian monkey lizard was specifically designed to look like Kermit the Frog on crack. That
I've
is
never heard that
literally
before.
the idea behind it. I
And
found
they
it out at a convention
succeeded.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyways,
I
so
never-
What's his name?
it was
I never
quickly
made that
scaling up
association.
Nisara's leg, with bad intentions with this item. You cracked the whip. It leaped out of the way like no problem. Unfortunately, Nisara catches it on the buttocks. But
Did it?
it's
Did it
like
do
on
any
the bed
harm?
and just kind of like looking around, making sure nothing else is happening. It's not showing any sort of other additional levels of aggression.
Okay.
All the
Are you-
slaves are worried now.
The rest of us are still here.
Nasara, are you okay? I'm sorry about that.
Uh,
How many wounds
it
did you
didn't-
take?
it didn't do any damage, did it?
No, it all would have been just superficial.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's halved by fortitude. So
Can anything
wrong
can there be some sort of role that would provide knowledge of how to deal with this type of creature? How to give it
There
commands
would
and
be.
stuff?
It would be a cultural reference, yes, or
Ooh,
Okay.
or if you have alien species.
ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
I do
okay.
have cultures.
I
Yeah,
will be
both of
rolling
those.
alien
Can I-
species.
Can I roll that as well?
Whichever one you have, you absolutely can. They would both be appropriate at this point.
I mean, I have alien species, but I don't have any points in it.
Oh, if you have alien species, then it's just the stat that it rolls up underneath.
Yeah.
I know.
So it would be knowledge, but if you want to use it.
Oh, pfft,
Do I have knowledge?
I'm
Nice try,
an
Tom.
idiot.
I have
Try
knowledge.
again.
I'll try that.
You're
rolled a
looking
1.
for 11 or higher.
Oh, I only
Well,
got 10.
nope.
10.
11.
There's an 11.
How did the tech guy know what to do?
Thank you for knowing what to do.
Well, we're about ready to explain why you knew that. Kawuki monkey lizards are kind of like gremlins. You get them around tech, they tend to, if they're getting bored, even though they have some intellect, they will start chewing some stuff up.
I thought you were gonna
Pass the
say if you feed them after midnight or
Get them. Yeah.
And then they spawn, instead of like evil gremlins, they spawn Kermit the Frog.
Basically,
Do I know how to
yeah.
make it stop or come or feed it or something?
I mean, they're sentient enough that they understand. Like, they can't really vocalize, like speak, but if you speak to it and tell it to do something, they'll get it.
I'll yell at it to sit. Sit in the chair.
Okay, so I mean, it looks around. It was properly intimidated, by the fact that it almost got clocked with a whip. So you command it to go, and so it hops a couple, hops and sits over in a chair somewhere in the room at this point. The odd-looking toy in hand, but just
Okay.
keeping to itself.
I'm going to walk over to the little gremlin.
Look at Tycho and be like, you and your hobbies.
Yeah. Grab the toy that is in his hand, put it back in the basket, and we're going to take that basket and we're going to put it in the bathroom, away from everyone.
Okay. So as you're doing that, like now, the slaves that are with you guys are completely confused because you guys talked them up after you broke them free from their collars. You got them food. You're basically telling them like you're gonna be free or whatever have you. Like as soon as we get you out of here, then you ordered up the toys, and now they're like, and then you're like pushing them away, and now they're completely like they just don't understand what they're giving you the look like you were speaking common and now you're not. Like they just don't follow it. Nothing's computing right now.
wait,
That's-
I'm confused. I thought the slaves went with Ashi.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, never mind.
Nice.
Unless she only took like one of the slaves.
We'll
No, she
say
can take all of them.
yeah, we'll say that for cover's sake. That either
For
way is fine.
continuity.
Sure, for continuity. Thank you.
Okay. So we're waiting for her to get back. With the
Yes.
We're waiting for Ashi, and we'll say she took She took Bess with her, the Twi'lek.
Okay.
Well,
That
Nassara
leaves
looks
you
a
with-
little bit.
that leaves you with
she's
the
a little
old
bit
man and the young
relieved
kid.
that the Twilight went.
So go
All
ahead and
right.
continue.
So, what's the plan once we meet up with the guy? Shouldn't we plan for something weird happens? If he's got a tail, anything like that?
well,
What's wrong with having a tail?
no,
No,
somebody
not-
following.
Thank you. There you go.
Oh, right.
Well, we'd have to work with him, right? So we'd have to set up some sort of, hey, where is he? Where is the target? And just work it out from there. I don't know if there's much we can plan, except maybe just keep a lookout, keep an eye out.
Okay.
So he's
Yeah.
going to point us onwards, no? Hopefully.
Hopefully, what?
He's going to point us onwards to our
Right. Yes.
target?
Yes. Right. And so once we know where the target is, then we can better plan. But once we know, yeah.
I assume that we'll be just taking these folks with us, or are we going to leave them here until our business?
It
is
probably would be
concluded?
best to take the. It probably would be best to take the slaves with us. They're already freed.
Oh, I don't know.
If we take him with, and something breaks out where we have to fight our way out of something, they're gonna be sitting ducks.
Yeah.
I was more meaning when we get out of here.
Well, yeah. When
Well,
we
yeah,
leave,
when we leave.
Well, yeah, we're
Yeah,
taking.
I
them
wasn't
off
meaning
Narshada.
when we had to. Yeah, that's what I was meaning. I wasn't meaning when we go meet the guy.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
they're definitely coming off planet with us. We wouldn't leave them here.
Yeah, if any of them find out that we freed the slaves, that we're going to have people on our asses.
All right.
shall we leave them with Ashi?
Yeah, let's leave him with Ashi.
And can we send the damn little gremlin back to the front desk?
Yes. Lizard Man, back to desk.
So he just kind of like looks around and jumps over to a table. It's like,
Yes.
Shoo! Off with you! Shoo!
so as he starts doing, like he starts running, away at this point, as Montana is just like, just shooing him in general, throwing his hands, in his direction.
Nassara will open the front door and she'll say, "Go home."
So he bounces, towards the door at this point, and hops out with like a squeak and swings down the hallway somewhere.
And then she will close and lock the door.
I was ready to shoot the damn thing.
So Todd, you just got a reroll, so write that down on your sheet.
I have a pencil. I'll just have to remember.
You can type it in.
Oh, that's true. Look at you.
Yeah, there's not really a place for it. I just found a random line and
I'm putting it under special abilities.
That's
Reroll.
fine.
there you go.
Sure.
There you go.
Oh, actually, that's a better spot. That top line isn't really used for much.
All right, so another 20 minutes or so later, Ashi comes walking back. She has, like a pack full of some spare clothing that she and Bess picked out relative to everyone.
Excellent.
And you guys were going full like commoner, like just to completely blend in, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Commoner to blend in.
Commoner but sparkly. I'm kidding.
Okay. I mean,
Sparkly
kidding.
commerce.
She has Bess, hit your top with some pixie dust.
I forgot. I'm not playing Sophie tonight.
Correct.
Right.
Because if that was the case, you'd have a special request for heals as well.
Accurate.
Yeah, as Zynar points out, but Sparkly never stands out.
Tell that to Twilight.
I mean, I don't know. Some of the most over-the-top outfits I've ever seen have been in trailer parks. So
Oh,
True. All right. Well, you've got your clothing together at this point. It's been, a half hour now at this point as you got your clothing, getting everything together. It's now up to you. What is the team going to do?
Okay. Have we asked the slaves if they know where this person is?
Which person is that?
The mechanic that we're looking
Verdiantar.
for.
I'm sorry.
Verdiantar.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Rin Vinaki, the old man who had seen one too many days of hard labor. He does. Yeah, I mean, he nods. He says, "Yeah, I'm familiar with that place."
Can you describe how to get there?
He says, "Yeah, just look for the Meltdown Cafe, and it's maybe like 2 or 3 doors down from that. It's the only mechanic shop in that particular block."
Okay.
is that good enough directions for us?
Well, considering Montan, you were getting a map. By the way, if somebody
Yeah.
is typing, make sure you mute just in case. But since you got a map, yes, you guys would know relative to the hotel that you're at where the Meltdown Cafe is located.
Excellent. Well, Ashi, new people, we're gonna go. We'll be out for a little bit. Collars on. Don't worry. It's for your safety. If anybody says anything, I own you. Okay. And all right, let's go, guys. Come on.
So, I mean, at that point, they're like, "Are we going with, or are we remaining in
No,
the room?"
stay. Please stay with Ashi. You guys can play games or something. I don't know.
So they kind of look, back and forth
Not-
to one another, and just kind of shrug.
Not with the toys. That is just for cover.
And they're like, "Okay." Bess politely pushes the cart off to one side of the room to get it away from everybody, and just sets it off to the side.
And so Nasara will get changed in the bathroom,
Okay.
and I guess she'll leave her fancy dress here.
Sure.
And
since
Montana
there
already wears
gonna
a
be people.
like a workman's jumpsuit anyway. So.
Right. Yeah,
He's fine.
he kind of already blends. Oh yeah, you blend.
You blend.
So you exit the hotel room at this point. Go walking out. It is, for those of you who are not used to an ecumenopolis, which is in essence the same thing as Coruscant. It is a planet that is made up completely of city. Nar Shaddaa is essentially the same thing. So now that you're actually many floors below the top layer, there's just no sunlight. So really the only or any sort of ambient light that might come from space. So the lighting that's all down here is all artificial. So it's colorful. It has lights very similar to what you might see in Las Vegas, all written in Aurebesh or Huttese, advertising to the locals that are here. But it's kind of like permanently being in uncomfortable back alleys in Las Vegas. Like no place really feels totally safe here. They do have a problem with the trash at various points. So as we've talked about before, there is a noticeable smell to this particular sector. Occasionally you do find that there are piles of trash near certain buildings. The closer you get to the Meltdown Cafe, the more it seems to be cleaned up some.
Oh, okay.
Meltdown Cafe is what you would probably imagine many Star Wars cantinas would look like. It's just sort of several steel frames put together. On this lower level, there's a sign that kind of flashes every so often. Very reminiscent of the old school that signs that you might see, fluorescent signs for alcohol in 70s and 80s bars that had to look like it was animated. It had, one pose and another pose and one pose, and it just kind of went back and forth through its fluorescent lighting. It does also kind of give the Meltdown Cafe does also kind of give a vibe similar to a 50s diner in a sense.
Ooh.
So very kind of no frills. It's got like a row of tables that sit near windows that overlook the street. And of course there are droids walking back and forth, servicing people on the inside. There are probably there's like 2 speeders that are here, and maybe 6 to 8 speeder bikes that are all lined up out here. It's really popular.
Are speeder bike Hell's Angels a thing?
Tactically, yes.
Okay.
Well, Tycho's gonna look for a table since it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Well, keep in mind, they did say it was near the cafe. It wasn't actually there.
Yeah, why?
But you
Why
can
are we
go
going
there
to
if you
cafe?
would.
Oh, you wanted to go to the machine shop first. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. Rewind.
Like pulling you. No time to eat.
It's the place with the most light, so he's just naturally drawn to it.
Makes
like a
sense.
moth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a moth.
Well, literally, because he can see better there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you pass that by. You also start to notice that in this particular sector, there are a couple of other cantinas / bars here, and there's not a whole lot of foot traffic anymore. Not like you saw when you first stepped off the landing pad here.
Oh, this must be for the locals.
Drade's going to be making sure to look back and forth to make sure that they're not jumped from a random angle as they're walking by.
Kind of keeping your hackles on the back of your head kind of standing up and keeping your head on the swivel.
You got it.
Looking around, making sure you're not jumped or Khajiit doesn't come out and ask for coin for no particular reason.
Exactly.
You get up to the
I hate it when
shop.
that happens.
You get up to the shop, and it looks like what they did is somebody, probably an unscrupulous landlord or realtor or whatnot, took several buildings and kind of sublet them a little bit to some extent. They have doors that lead into them, but it looks like it's just a door. Like if you're trying to make sure it looks like a business, you may have to hang a sign out there or something. They're all just very flat, very utilitarian looking, just kind of blah with a side order of drab. The only thing that kind of mixes it up is the sign that's that's lit up that basically just says mechanic shop in common.
All right. Well, are there any like hour signs, like open from this time to this time, or?
There is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Is he still open?
He currently is not.
Oh,
Damn it.
so I'm gonna turn over to Montan. He's closed.
Break in.
I mean, it's closed, but is he still in there? We could
I just go up
find
and
out.
knock.
All right. Yeah. Montan knocks.
If he's not, then maybe we can ask around at the cafe. Maybe
you go.
he's there getting a drink after work.
Yeah, maybe.
You knock. There's a pause. Nobody answers.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, he's not here.
Break in.
I would like to use my light side point.
For what exactly?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh. Psycho's gonna turn around. Guys, he's not here. We should go to the cafe.
Break in.
By the way, do we know what he looks like?
Yes, he is a
It was a Zabrak.
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 He's a Zabrak. Well, okay.
Yep. The description you were given is he has yellow skin, or like kind of the yellowish skin Zabrak with black tattoos.
He's got the horns on his head.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe he's down at the cafe, like what she's saying. Let's go check it out. Nothing else to do.
Throwing him back.
All right, we'll make our way to the cafe.
Okay. So you start making your way back. One of those little mouse droids goes whizzing by you.
It goes by like it's not like following
How-
us.
Yeah, no, it just goes on. Like it was
Oh.
rolling
That's
kind
fine.
of towards you, veers, and then keeps on going.
I'm okay with
How far from business hours are we? Are we talking about like the next day?
No. You missed it by maybe an hour.
Missed it by that much.
So they'll open the next day. That's
Yes.
what I'm asking.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, while we're heading to the cafe, Owens is going to be looking around, making sure like they're not being watched by, say, an Imperial spy.
Okay. Since you're looking around, why don't you give me? It's gonna be a perception check.
Just a perception check.
Just a perception check.
Damn it.
Oh, shoot. Got a 1 on the wild die.
Nice. $13 total. Okay. So, Colin, you look around. Looks like the coast is clear. Kind of eerily so, given where you're at. But you don't quite see anything. As you turn and look, you were lagging a little bit from behind the group. So to quicken your pace, to catch up to the crowd, as they're leaving this particular storefront, and you you misjudge a step and end up clanking into an overhanging pipe from some conduit. So all of you from behind hear a bong,
Oh my god.
and then unfortunately you end up seeing Owen like kind of wincing and holding like his brow like right here. It got him good.
You all right? What just happened?
I'm all right. I was just trying to make sure we weren't being watched, like from an Imperial spy or something.
Well, thank you for taking that hit instead of us, Owen. You're a great guy. Now let's move at a better pace. How about that? And he goes over and, pats him on the shoulder and carries him along while he's dealing with his head.
You are too tall.
So
No, this is one of those.
go ahead and continue.
Oh. So he was just going to basically tell him that no, this is just one of those planets that is mainly city then planet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, so you walk back to the Meltdown Cafe. There are still obviously several speeder bikes out there and 2 speeders. You come walking in, and you're currently listening to some of the best jams right now from Max Rebo.
It's probably going to look weird for all of us to walk in. Maybe some of us wait out front or watch
Right.
from outside.
Why?
That was
we're
that was a
fairly
great
large
comment.
party.
Yep, that was a great comment that probably would have been useful before you walked in. So,
Okay, then we all walk in.
so you're all at the door. Nobody's really taking any second glances at all of you. Y'all look
yes or no.
y'all all look kind of like commoners at this point.
X.
But what you do see is there is a particular group of aliens in here that all happen to be wearing some similar colors.
Uh-oh.
They're not any colors that we happen to be wearing, is it?
No, based on what you're looking at, probably not.
And you say aliens.
Yes. So by aliens, I mean you're seeing some Rhodians. You are seeing near human aliens. Rhodians happen to be some of them, but one of them happens to be an Ithorian. They're all looking a little rough, and they're probably a part of the same gang.
Are there any Zabraks?
Roll perception.
Yeah,
I'll
roll
look
for perception too.
Just straight perception?
Just straight perception.
I got an 18.
Nice.
Nice.
12.
13.
All right. And Zynar, yes, most aliens who can't speak common would have that voice modulator sort of thing, so they don't go around sounding like straightforward Ithorians from the Knights of the Old Republic, who kept, repeating something about Vitla and Kleet. So, anyways. But yes, Colin, or Owen, I should say, you guys take a moment to look around the establishment, and you see sitting at the bar is a Zabrak, kind of fitting the description you've been given. He is in work overalls. It's kind of hanging off the one side. Looks like it's a little big. It's got its gloves sitting next to him. Got a big old cup of calf in front of him.
Nice.
He nudges some of the group and nudges his head to the Zabrak at the bar. I think that's him. Though let's be careful as let not draw the eye of the others. I think they're the owners of those spears outside.
Well, is it a seat yourself sort of place? Because I'm going to
Yes.
find a table. I'll find a table for the group.
Yeah, this is way too low class to wait
Right,
for
just
someplace to sit.
Where's the hostess?
Come, Tycho.
There ain't no hostess. It's a cafe.
I am the hostess.
It's one of
Man of
those
many
get your
talents.
own. It's one of those get your own spots.
Oh,
You find them on Tatooine all the time.
wow! How
He's
democratic.
Be louder about your Tatooine experience.
So you guys go and find yourself a place to sit down. As you sit down, a booth big enough, obviously. A droid comes wandering over to you, and it's in the same sort of humanoid model that a protocol droid would be, but it's just a basic, like, server droid. You know, it doesn't have a whole lot of higher functions, and you know, it moves in a little choppy sort of way. Looks to all of you and it says, "Would you like something to eat?"
I'm sorry. I have this mental image of Dot Matrix with the skirt.
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
over.
right, yeah.
Do you have any specials?
So at this point, you know, it reaches over, touches a button on the table, and a little hollow screen kind of illuminates of, you know, what they do have here. You basically have the choice of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the special.
What is
I'll have dinner.
the special? Is like a dinner, right?
It's special.
Equivalent to, yes.
Okay. Do they have? Okay, my thought is, what if we broached this conversation with our guy by like sending? I don't want to like send him a drink because if he's drinking calf, then like he doesn't need another glass of or cup of calf. But like, is there a dessert that we could send over? Like, I don't know. This is my thought. What do you think?
I was thinking the same thing, and I was thinking beer. So
But
I
he's
think,
got calf.
yeah. So I think dessert is probably the better option.
Why don't you
So
just go
I
sit-
will. What's that, Montan?
Why don't you just go sit with him?
Yeah, you are pretty.
He's at the bar. Go sit next to him. Start talking to him like you're hitting on him.
Mhm.
Maybe go hit on him.
Hey, baby.
Montan with the advice. Wow.
I-
Go Montan.
I guess
How
we
you
could go that
doing?
route.
Is this guy
know-
expecting us, or is there some way we can communicate? We are on his side. What do we got as far as that goes?
Is there a code?
Let me double check the notes.
I mean, before we get into that, let's just order a round of calf for the table
Yes, please.
so that the droid can go do his job.
Okay. And speaking of which, the special happens to be crate milk with Dianuga pie.
Ooh.
Doesn't sound half bad.
Dianuga.
There's nothing on the notes.
Okay, well then, whoever knows the most about what we need to do should be the ones who go up and talk to him, right? All of us at the same time might be a little much. We also don't want to draw, that gang's attention.
Yeah.
How about I like it, the idea of sending something to him, like the pie,
hmm
and maybe he would come and talk to us as
Okay.
a collective rather than. No offense, Tycho. I don't know that we should send you over there by yourself.
I thought you were going to go.
Well, you're the one who knows the mission.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, send the pie. Send the pie.
Okay, so we'll call the droid back over.
Okay, so it comes walking back over with its staggered gait.
Can we order the special to that fellow over there?
So it turns and looks, and it then puts a price up on the screen for somebody to pay.
Taika will press select.
Okay. So you just at that point you take off, the equivalent of 5 credits.
Okay. Excellent.
Dianoga pie is one of the most popular dishes made of Dianoga meat. It is a savory pie with a beige crust and is stuffed with a filling. It is very popular with the hook species.
I forgot that was a dinner and not a dessert. But whatever. Free dinner.
Well,
Free dinner.
it still looks like pie, but it's
Yeah, but
and whatnot.
it's. I mean, maybe he's already eaten.
It's a lot of pie.
So at that point, the droid walks off and goes and collects some pie that's already been made. As it was just the pie, or was it the milk as well?
Just the pie.
Okay. So it charged you for the special, doesn't deliver the
I
milk,
mean, whatever.
No,
I guess if we paid for the milk, then yes, the milk.
Yeah, I mean, it came with both. You don't have to give them both. The droid is not that dumb.
Okay, good. I will take
can
the
make
milk.
that edit.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's not a problem. So the droid walks over, and he kind of looks, like oddly at the pie being given to him and says, from the people at the table over there. And it turns and walks away and kind of like turns and looks and sees your group sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just kind of does one of those numbers.
Tycho's gonna wave back at him and I know, he's gonna make like a swooper driving motion.
Okay, so Taika, why don't you go ahead and roll your culture?
Yes, let's go. This will be 5d6 plus 1.
Shoot.
Yeah, 15.
Okay. So you start making that motion, and the first thought was, I look more like I'm milking something right now. So you kind of correct yourself and pantomime like some shifter or something,
Yeah.
So it looks a little bit more like steering, and so your guy comes, walking back. He walks across from the bar to where you're at, and he says, "Are you wanting to milk a Dianoga?"
No, I'm looking for parts.
And he says, "Oh, well, my shop is closed right now. I was actually just enjoying a drink."
Yeah, that's why we sent you the pie. Maybe you could let us in. We could talk some shop for a few minutes. Give you some credits. Everybody's happy.
He looks to the droid at this point. And he says, "Why don't you put that in just a to-go box for me?" And the droid says, "Sure thing." Walks over and gets like a really basic looking box to start putting the food in.
Nice.
Very cheap, not like Tupperware or anything. It's like, basically it would be like sticking the equivalent of shepherd's pie in a takeaway container from a Chinese restaurant?
Right.
No, not the little rice.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, that's squished. Okay.
Right, exactly. So it's a takeaway. It's not very good for the the item it's being packed for.
So yeah, I know you come highly recommended, and just want to talk some shop.
He says, kind of like looking around, still a little dubious from everybody there. But since you were attempting to bargain with him, why don't you give me a bargain check?
Yes. Bargain. I'm on fire tonight. Oh, ooh, 10.
And so he's kind of like looking at you for a second. He says, just how worth my while is this going to be?
I'm going to look over to Montan. I don't know. How much you think it'll be?
You're muted.
Mike, you're still muted.
Mike, you're muted.
Sorry.
Mike, you're muted.
I would be. We have a very interesting project to work on, and I'm going to try to roll my bargain on him too, and try to talk him into it.
At this point, it would be persuasion.
Fuck, I don't have one of those.
Well, you can roll your perception.
Yeah, I lose 2 dice though. 16.
Let's go.
I mean, it doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck.
So what do you say then specifically?
Well, I mean, he's a mechanic, right? So, I'm going to talk him in that we've got this very interesting project to work on, but we need specialized parts for it. We'd like to, go to his shop and see if he's got what we need, and we'll pay him a little extra, for the inconvenience of coming in after hours.
He says, all right. Picks up his, takes his calf, picks up his gloves, tucks it into, the belts that he's got wrapped around his waist, and starts walking for the door.
Excellent.
Big drink. Follow him out.
Yeah.
I
Same here.
am
Yeah, down the calf.
really surprised that
Shake up the
worked.
milk.
Owen just gets up and starts following him.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
You're not gonna drink your calf?
I will bring my calf.
As you guys exit and walk around the side of the Meltdown Cafe, you end up hearing him. He smacks a pipe, a low-hanging pipe. He says, "Watch your heads."
Turn around to Owen. Watch your head.
Shut up.
So
Full branches.
he walks back to his, to his store, the storefront at this point, and he opens it up, motions, everybody to come in. He starts flicking some lights on.
All right, when we're all in.
The storefront looks pretty much like what you would expect a third-hand Radio Shack. Like there's a little bit of organization here, but mostly it's just like part bin here, similar for whatever, part bin here, part bin there. At best he sweeps, but the scent in here at this point is very chemical based. From fluids that from fluids that you might encounter from vehicle parts.
Montan's smiling, by the way. Like, oh, finally. I'm home again.
There's stuff that hangs from the ceiling at this point, like larger parts that you might go for other pieces. Brittany, mute yourself.
When the door is closed and we're all together, Tycho will say, "Hey, so we're here looking for someone, and I guess you know where they are."
1 second. All right, so let me get my notes pulled back up here. Apologies. Spot. There we go. And I'm sorry. So repeat what you just said there, Tycho.
Yeah, we're here looking for someone, and you might know where they are. We're looking for, and then the name
And the name of
the person we're looking for.
Randall Tantalo.
Randall Tantalo.
Yeah, so he kind of pauses for a second when he realizes you're not there for parts, obviously. And he says, "Oh, so you guys are the ones that have made my life hell right now. Thanks. Appreciate that."
We're terribly sorry. What's been happening?
Were you not told to keep a low profile?
Yeah.
Would you think
We just got on the plant not too long ago.
would you think you kept a low profile since you got here?
Yes. Yes, indeed, we have.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, you haven't, rookie.
Okay.
And he says you've complicated matters quite a bit.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what complicated it? What's going on?
The money you flashed.
Yeah.
This particular part of town, don't see those types of people here.
Got it.
And so he
Tycho,
he whistles.
how much did those slaves cost?
It was like 200.
So 1 second.
Yep.
He whistles at this point and he says, a Lawtac.
Come walking out.
Time to earn your keep.
So what do we got going on here?
He says, well, this is, he says, job meet a Lawtac meet job.
How you doing, Alatek?
I'm fine. What's the job?
Randall Tantalo.
He says, you're the reason why, these people here are the reason why you got hired last minute.
All right. Well, I'm getting paid.
They
I'm okay with
flashed credit around that they probably shouldn't have flashed, and have complicated matters for the extraction.
that. All right. So I get the big guns then.
Would you mind explaining what he's been hired for specific?
Trouble.
Okay. Yep.
Looks like
No,
it.
no, we have trouble.
Oh no, I take care of trouble.
Oh.
Sounds like
He's been hired for security purposes for our little
Right.
informant.
Okay. Well,
Tycho, did you flash a bunch of credits around?
we bought the slaves.
That
Remember?
explains why.
Yeah.
And this quickly gets Owen to give slap Tycho for this.
Can I dodge? Is there a dodge in this game?
Actually, there is a dodge in this game. It's dexterity.
What?
It's dexterity based.
I would like to dodge his super
gib.
move. Yeah, his
So
gib.
it's going to be dexterity if you don't have dodge. Otherwise, it's your dodge, trait. And for Owen, it's brawl.
All
I
right.
wasn't aiming to actually hurt him. I was just
But
It's a
Good to see if you
contested.
hit
It is a contested skill at this point, so
okay.
you're gonna need to roll your brawl.
Dang! Wow. Nope.
Okay.
What?
So you're used to what happened, just probably not quite as quickly as it happened. Because you've been on the wrong end of things back in the matriarchy.
Yes.
Let's face it. You've said some things. It's why you're here. That they that didn't align properly with the matriarchy. But you got kind of used to having these people around and not being in the matriarchy. So when you got caught from behind with a pop, upside your head, you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, fine. Dang it.
What is going on with my camera?
We can see you just fine.
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, I'm all fuzzy. Okay. All right.
Well, it's probably because you're leaning away from your camera too. The point of
It might
focus
be
is closer.
bandwidth instead of camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just so you guys are aware, Elitech, I'm a Nautilin, and I'm wearing like a combat suit, and I've got some blasters and a big blaster on my back. Well, no, I don't have the big I've got blasters on my hips. So
Okay. All right. So,
What race did you say?
Nautilin, like Kit Fisto.
I have no idea what you just said. So
I'm a Nautilin, like Kit
He looks-
Fisto. It's got the multi.
Oh yeah,
He's aquatic. Yeah.
okay, now there's
He's got like a
multiple
bunch of like squid tendrils.
Mhm.
I got the alien book here.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh,
Thank you
like
guys.
that
He has
one
the
Jedi with all
calamari
the
head.
tentacles off the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the
no, not
head.
calamari.
Well, yeah, I got
Not
the
calamari.
big eyes and the
Yeah, I think I know.
and the
Right, and then the things. Okay,
multiple squid. I'm not a Mon Calamarian, no, but
No, I said calamari because squid.
there you go.
Oh, yes, not to be confused with monk calamari.
Right.
Yeah,
That's Admiral Akbar.
correct.
Nice.
Montan, is there anything you need from this shop before we go?
Oh, sure. Like, I have not seen these servos in many years.
Okay. Yeah, take your pick. We'll have to compensate our mechanic friend here.
Jerry, is there any chance I could actually shop for the droid I'm building here?
Yeah, I'll give it a roll. Why don't you give me a search check, see if you find something appropriate.
Is Montana? Are you speaking about the droid aloud?
Yeah.
I'm looking over at you. I'm like, what do you know about droid programming?
I know a lot about droid programming. It is my specialty.
Oh, then we should talk later.
This guy does not shut up about droids.
So let's take a quick moment while Mike is working on that roll. Drade, why don't you give me, since Todd is new to the game, we'll start with Drade. Why don't you give a description of what you look like?
Yeah, so Drade looks like just your typical human with black shoulder-length hair with a white streak, got tan skin, lean build. He is always wearing like these advanced sunglasses that seem to wrap around and cover his eyes. He's wearing a simple clothing with like a typical blast vest, and he's got a blaster at his side.
Okay. Nasara?
purple Twi'lek, 25, bit curvy, and she's wearing whatever blends in with the people here.
Okay. Tycho.
She's also packing.
Yes.
Yes. Tycho is a Happen from the Happen Consortium, and he is the most beautiful man you've ever laid eyes on. He is around 6 foot tall, broad shoulders, lean build, could cut granite with his jaw. And he's currently wearing commoner's clothes.
What is a Happen? I don't know that race.
Happen is they have their own kingdom, I guess, for lack of a better
They do.
term.
They're near
Yeah.
human, right?
Yeah, they're near human.
They
So-
can almost completely pass for human. They're that close.
Okay.
The only problem is that in darkness they're blind as a bat. So
Okay.
yeah, but human eye color brown, human hair color brown, tan skin. Again, just the most beautiful man you've ever seen.
All right.
Montan.
Montan is a Bothan, which means he is short and furry. He's got the pointy ears coming down to a goatee. And wearing he's wearing a you heard earlier, like a jumpsuit. He's clearly a workman, engineer sort. That's really it.
And Owen.
Owen.
Owen is, of course, a male human. He is tanned due to from living on not Tatooine. He is a redhead with hazel eyes, and he has a few scars. They are a mix from Blaster and from what you can. If you've ever been to Tatooine, you can tell some of them are from Tusken encounters.
Well, you wouldn't know they were Tusken encounters per se, but they would be scars created by like bladed weapons. And burns, perhaps by blaster fire.
Burns from blaster fire and bladed weapons, basically.
Alatek doesn't have any scars or anything like that. He's got his blaster on his side. If you know weapons, it's a heavy blaster pistol that he has. What else do you see? It's a combat jumpsuit is what he's wearing.
So in essence, without the Mandalorian specific helmet, it like a Mandalorian type armor. Not Mandalorian specific, but how it's a jumpsuit, and then you've got like your patches of armor placement and whatnot on it. So
Nice.
that would be a combat jumpsuit.
I need to get me one of those.
So
Does he have guns? I'm sorry, I was doing multiple things, trying to get notes and everything, but he's got a combat jumpsuit. Is he like obviously armed? Or...
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've got a heavy blaster on my right hip. I mean, if you're looking close, you can probably see that he's got a vibro blade on his left hip. He's got a bandolier across his chest. He's got like backpacks, and I mean this dude it looks like he could go off in the field and be fine for a couple weeks. I mean, he's got bags and with them, and he's got like like how Batman has his belt and everything with all the compartments. He's got something similar to that. So he's just got all this equipment with him. So
Armed to the gills.
Yeah.
Literally.
yeah.
Bootleg Mandalorian.
No. I might hunt a Mandalorian if needed, but
So now that we've got the introductions out of the way,
Yes.
Mike, did you make your roll?
Yeah, I got an 11.
11. 11 gets you into the moderate range, I believe. Let's take a look.
Yep.
It does. So yes, you can find a fully functioning leg unit.
A leg unit. Well, in theory, this thing already has its mobility, right? So,
Mhm.
so I don't need a leg unit. Oh well, whatever. That's fine.
What
Does he have
what
any
else?
skill there?
What else were you? Oh, so you're looking for programming then?
Yeah.
You know what? I will roll for that. 1 second. I'll give it a chance.
Jerome, while Montan's looking around at the equipment, and he mentioned the droid earlier, I'm just gonna just start talking to him. I'm like, so droids are not a specialty of mine, but they are definitely an interest. What are you trying to do?
Oh, we found a chassis on another planet, and but it is just a chassis. I'm trying to build it into a droid for our group. Something useful.
Yes, he does have some skill programming.
Okay. Hey Tycho, how much money are you willing to spend here?
Give me one moment.
Jerome, can I look around, dude, to see if there's anything I might see?
What are you looking for?
Well, he's talking about like all he has is a chassis, so I'm just looking at like droid parts, whatever, because I've got droid repair.
Yeah, he's got the leg.
400.
Okay. So okay, so can I just put together 400 from my shopping list?
Sure.
I mean, you know, I've got it all.
Yeah.
In an
Yeah,
Excel
we
file
can do
already.
that to keep things flowing. Sure thing. That'll work.
Okay, so we're gonna spend that. I'll drop the specifics in here.
Okay, that'll work.
All right, let me go ahead and add that to the tab.
And I will not be trying to talk him down since he's doing us a favor here.
Did you see the leg over there?
It is a good leg. We could make another droid.
Oh, you don't need the legs. Okay.
I don't need the leg. For this droid.
All right, so where can we find Tantalo at?
So he ends up sliding a small piece of metal that has something like carved into it.
Okay.
And it's more elegantly carved, a type of symbol. It's not like somebody just took a vibro weapon and said, hacked off a hunk of metal. But it's been like polished off a little bit. And he says, you're going to need to go to, he details off a door and kind of makes a rough map where you guys are going to, where you have to go on this level. He says, it is behind Club Lost. And he says the problem, and then he tells you flat out, he says, the problem you're facing at this point is because you brought attention to yourself, you have eyes on you.
I see.
And so now 2 gangs are out looking for you. But it looks like they're playing a smart game and waiting to see what it is that you're doing. Meaning you're gonna endanger Randall if you just show up.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna need this piece in order to get through the front door.
Do we know where these gangs are?
Yeah, he says one belongs to. Both of them are speeder bike gangs. One belongs to Spivwax Wick, Hut Crime Boss. The other one is Subex Harg.
But they don't know about Allotech.
No.
I don't think we want to play him between two huts.
Well, we would
Capable as he is, undoubtedly.
No, but so 2 questions for you. One, my light repeating blaster, is that allowed on this level?
Are you asking in or out of character? Because you've got it on you.
Well, no, I said I left it in the other room before I came out. I
Okay.
came out here. So in character, I'm asking that.
I mean, unless somebody from authority tells you no, then yes.
All right.
Oh.
So I'm gonna grab that. I can stand back and keep eyes on the group.
Well, what I wanted to do was create a distraction, lead them away from here, while you go pick up the guy and take him back to the hotel room.
Is he on this level?
Who?
Or is he on a different level?
No,
He's
he's
on
on this level, yes.
Okay.
So you're in charge of distraction detail, and I'm on guy retrieval detail.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? And he'll to motion to the rest of the group.
Well, it's going to depend on what the
It really
distraction is.
depends on how this is.
Do we know what his situation is? Is he going to need more in-depth extraction?
Oh, that's a good question. Ver, what's the situation looking like wherever he's being held at?
Tense.
So to be clear here, am I rescuing someone? Am I capturing someone?
Rescue.
Or okay, I'm not just bringing a body in. Okay.
No, rescue.
And so, yeah, at this point, Ver is kind of like looking back to how everybody is handling this. And he says, so let me get this right. Muscle has been hired for you to help cover for you, and you want him to go in and make the negotiation?
I mean, I can get the
There's
body
a
in.
negotiation?
I can easily get the body for you if that's what you need. But if it's
no, that's not what you're here for.
But I'm just saying that's what it sounds like they're putting me on. So.
I had no idea there was a negotiation going on. Okay. Well, that complicates matters.
Is this Randall being held by one of the gangs, or is he on his own right now?
He's being held by an independent party who is holding up the negotiations. Hence the time-sensitive and secretive nature of the job that you obtained that you kind of flushed down the toilet.
Okay.
So now we have to hope that this person's still going to negotiate, knowing that the gangs are probably going to descend pretty quickly. They know something's up.
Okay, so if we were to play into the flashy appearance that we've already established, how would we do that in a way that is distracting from the conflict?
I don't know if you want to flash more money down around here, because you're going to have people thinking you're another crime lord, and that could start all kinds of other problems.
Yeah, so it sounds like right now we've got eyes on us. So they've already made us, and they know probably what we're here for. But if we all go in to talk to Randall, they're just going to use that time to attack us, and we're going to fight off a swarm. Is there some way that some of us can go in to do the negotiation the rest of us kind of hang back so that if the gangs do swarm, we can jump them. We can get an ambush off. Like guard whoever's doing the negotiation.
Veer looks irritated at this point, like Dante level irritated from Clerks. He's not even supposed to be here, sort of thing. You know? Like he's not even supposed to be a part of this. This was, this was supposed to be a quick handoff. Move on to the next point. So he's clearly irritated. And he says, and he looks like right at Drade, and he says, "All right, you look like you have a head on your shoulders. I'll find a way to get you in. The rest of you come up with something to cause a distraction."
Oh, I'm good at that.
What kind of place is Club Lost?
He says, they only serve non-humans there.
Nope.
Well,
That could be a distraction.
that neither
And
of you are
several of
human.
us are non-human.
Tycho and Nasara are not human. So if Tycho and Nasara, who are being watched, go on a date or whatever you want to call it, go out to a club, and the rest of us servants wander around and find our way into the other place, I'll go handle the bargaining.
What's the dress code at Club Lost?
He said,
I hate to split the party, but
he looks to all of you and he says that you already kind of fit the bill.
Okay, just checking that it wasn't anything different. That could work. We could do that.
He says, he points to, he's not catching everybody's name, but he points to Nasara and Tycho and he says, but you two are too pretty.
Yeah.
I can fix that. Probably.
And you would wind up looking like a slave. Which means you're wandering around without an owner. And if Pretty Boy here is supposedly your owner, again, drawing all kinds of wrong attention.
Okay, so what if I don't go in? What if he and Montan go in?
You want the Bothan to go in? I mean, sure, I guess.
But we're not going to the club. We're going,
It's a back office in the club.
Oh, it's in
One
okay.
One of us needs to negotiate. Montan, you seem to be the guy who knows how to talk that up. Are you willing to do the negotiating?
Depends on how it goes.
He says,
Okay, they said non-humans.
and he says, so can your Bothan handle a blaster?
No.
Okay.
He's Montan is wearing one,
Right.
but
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah. And Montan's like, it's more for aesthetic.
It goes with the outfit.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
He's like,
maybe
see it? Slimming effect.
It goes with the shoes.
I have not been
I
a part
could
of
do it.
negotiations for a while. I mean, I'm good with aggressive negotiations. So I can back somebody up.
I
Yeah, I
guess
think
I could go in. What
So
are you?
our-
What were you saying, Tycho?
Well, it sounds like Montan Altak go in, retrieve the guy, and the rest of us are in the club. Is that what I'm hearing?
And he says, is that how you plan on making a distraction?
I'm really good at distractions too. You tell me where you want me.
They're watching. They're watching you two.
They're watching us.
So we want their eyes on you.
Okay, so we could start some kind of an argument.
Well, I don't know about that. Just they'll be watching you anyway. So as long as you're not where the negotiations are happening, then all the gangs are looking elsewhere.
So there's one of the gang. I mean, is that one of the gangs that's at the Meltdown Cafe right now?
He says,
Okay.
see, I knew you had a head on your shoulders.
So, I mean, we can somebody goes over there because that's going to be far away. We want the distraction to probably be as far away from our client, as possible, right? We don't want him in the crossfire. So if we get people over here, start a fight or something, go well, those who are going to do the negotiating. We can communicate and go, hey, I'm going to do the negotiating. Go ahead and start that brawl. Start the brawl. That's happening. Negotiation happens. Get that done real quick. Hopefully the ones fighting win. Get out of there. We communicate. We then hustle back to the ship, and we're out of here.
Excellent.
All right. You guys have comm links, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else have a better plan?
I don't got comm links, but I got macro binoculars.
Okay, so then who's in which part?
You and I are going to the cafe. The rest of them
Okay.
are going to go pick up the dude.
Well,
Along with
Altec.
Altec. Yeah, Altec needs to be with you. I think Owen should be with you guys too. Montan, you're our negotiator friend, so you've got to be the one doing that. And I could back you up if you like.
you're a human, though, are you not? Isn't
I mean, right? No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, somebody else is going to have to.
For the club.
Right. Shoot.
He
So
says,
yeah, then it's got to be.
So
Altec.
why don't you put Bright Eyes on a collar?
Oh. Yeah.
Can you at least look hairy and mean, Mr. Bothan?
Maybe.
Why don't you go ahead and roll
Yes.
that?
What is this, perception again?
Which one of us is Bright Eyes?
Intimidation. He's talking
Well,
to.
I don't have
Bothan.
intimidation, so.
Dun dun dun.
Montan, do you need a lesson in intimidation?
I got a 10.
I mean, it's not nothing, right? But I mean, that is kind of the way he's looking. He's looking like what's his name from Monsters Inc. Reluctantly trying to scare Boo.
Right.
Just like he's like rawr, rawr, sort of thing.
Yeah.
He has kind of the pose, right? But like his voice, he's not really committing to the character,
Okay. Where
That'll do.
Where are we going to get a slave collar from?
And he says, "Oh well."
We got 3.
So I mean, he just reaches in behind a drawer back there and tosses you guys one.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, good. I'll go ahead and
He
put
says
this.
it doesn't work, so don't try to fix it.
Right. I'll just put it on Montan real quick.
You mean
Okay.
Drade?
Yes.
Oh, Drain. Hold on.
I gotta be,
Right.
yeah, because he's the negotiator,
Right,
and I gotta be. Go ahead, slap it on.
Okay. So put it on, Drade.
Okay.
I feel like when they're trying to put the handcuffs on Chewie.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
All right. Let's go.
Okay, so all of you are going over to the Meltdown Cafe, with the exception of Montan and Drade, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds like it.
Okay, that'll work. So you break at this point. Veer quickly turns the lights back to closed, pulls down the blinds. At this point, and you can hear several locks happen on the door at that point. As you leave, so you guys are walking over to the Meltdown, walking back over towards the Meltdown Cafe. Drade and Montan, you go further into level 88. There are a couple times that you occasionally hear like something metal scrape across the ground or get knocked over, like a tin can for some reason. Like it's getting kind of eerily quiet over in this section.
It's quiet, too quiet.
It is. It is. I mean, even to the extent like you don't really hear or see rodents until eventually you see Club Lost in a very dark and more secluded section of 88, parked in between what were probably some active warehouses back in the day. This particular section of town looks like it's probably been, given to the refuse that don't fit in anywhere else. And you can see that there are several speeder bikes parked out front.
Great.
And of course, you can hear, the music, rattling off, from the inside, or you're rattling off from the inside as you come walking. It's got illumination all around the front windows, and it has a little bit of an overhang. It's really the only source of activity in this area.
Let's see. Before we approach, I'm gonna be like, hey, and we're gonna be like, before anybody would like be seeing us technically or whatever, I'm gonna go over to Montana and be like, I might need you to wear my blaster. It might be weird if I'm a slave with a blaster. Can't you find if you're holding two?
Yes.
Okay.
It will look tougher.
All right, there you go. And so he takes off his belt, kind of shifts it, puts it on the other side so we can kind of sort of dual wield him if he needs to look the part or whatever, get that going there. And then he kind of messes up his shirt and stuff and messes his hair, and he's kind of sullen, like, okay, lead the way, master.
Let's hope Montan doesn't have to dual wield blasters.
He starts, he's like, I saw this in the remake of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. They hold it like this.
Holding them sideways.
I know, he's like,
yeah.
Taking one up like the side of his arm sort of thing, trying to pose all gangster-like in a faux sort of way. Yeah. So you guys go walking, off towards that way. Two guys, right off on speeders at this point, heading off into the shafts that lead upward, in levels. And then there's, again, still music, a little bit of activity, but for the most part, any ambient sounds coming from the music on the inside. When you come walking through the door, there's not a human in sight.
You said I thought we were going to the door behind it, like a back door?
Yeah.
So that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has front windows, so you can see into it.
Yeah.
And as you basically come around the service side where deliveries might be made, you can see that there's a pretty big, thick door that has a slit that people can obviously screen anybody coming through.
Did anybody get the name of who we're supposed to talk to?
Nope, just that piece.
Okay. What is the piece anyway? I got that it's an engraved piece of metal. Is it a token? Is it something worth trading?
It's basically like a token, that's been hand designed.
All right. So
challenge coin.
Yeah.
Equivalent to, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go knock on the door.
Housekeeping.
And so the slit opens and you can see sort of like a face appear with eyes, sitting on the side, and you can hear a voice speak, but it's not common, and then the voice translated into common through some sort of system, and you hear, "Yeah, who are you?"
I'll just wave the token.
Okay. There's a pause real quick. Slit comes back shut. Door opens up. Now you guys, you're almost hit with an audio wave of the music on the inside. It's loud even in the back. And an Ithorian swings the door open and motions the two of you in. Come on. Stop stalling.
Come on, slave.
Oh no!
Sorry, master. Sorry. Yes, of course.
Walk on in.
Yeah. Walk after him.
And so you come walking in, and He leads you to the back at this point, to an office where somebody is sitting there, and you see end up seeing behind the desk is a rather gnarly looking, maybe an not quite retirement age, but he's seen some stuff. He's got some scars on him. He's a Trandoshan. If you don't know what a Trandoshan is, they are the large reptilian individuals who are represented by Bosk from Empire Strikes Back. And he's dressed up nice commoner. Like, I mean, he's still got, I mean, the threads aren't really all that, but they're clean and they're not like ragged or holy or whatnot. He does happen to have 2 blades on his sides, and he does happen to have, a blaster kind of resting right here, upper torso, not quite at his thigh. And he kind of looks for a second and he says, "You two, I don't know you two. Who are you, Harry?" Mikey, thou art muted. You're muted, Mike.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm trying to keep notes and the typing is loud.
I appreciate it.
I'm not from here. I've come to bargain.
So he kind of looks for a second and he says, "You bring human meat to bargain?"
Oh no, he's if something needs carried.
And so he kind of, shoots you a side glance and he says, 100 credits.
For him?
He says, yeah.
No.
He has a decent smell, too. 150.
He doesn't belong to me. I can't sell him. My employer sent him with me to carry things.
Oh, I see. Savvy.
Do I look like I'm rich enough to own slaves?
And he says, I've known Bothans to own slaves.
I've
known Bothans to own slaves.
Oh, well, true. But I'm a worker.
So you came flashing the medallion. What did you want?
I am looking for something I believe is in your possession.
I may have lots of things in my possession. You need to be more specific, my friend.
This thing is called Randall Tantalo.
Ah, him. I was beginning to think that your people had given up on him. And so he motions to the Ithorian, which it's kind of uncommon because Ithorians are usually fairly peaceful, very Greenpeace, ecology types.
Pacifist?
Pacifist, maybe. Every once in a while, you run into an Ithorian that maybe had one bad day too many, and he turns into a thug, and they're actually kind of gnarly looking, and he's got kind of that vibe going to him. And so the Trandoshan, motions to him, and he says, yeah. He says, I think our friends are here for Randall. Why don't you go get him out of the back room? So he says something, and it translates into, yeah, sure thing, boss. He kind of goes walking off with some thuds. And he says, yeah, so because of that little indiscretion, why don't you tell your boss that I'm up in my portion here by another 1,000 creds.
Wow. Oh, so let us talk business then. And this is where I want to do my bargain roll.
Okay.
And
What are you trying to bargain with?
well, okay, so like I'm thinking about the pool of money the entire crew is going to get paid for this.
Okay.
Which is, what is it? We got 8,400 for the last one. It's 10K, was it?
10K for this one, yes. That is the contract, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not just going to start off being like, well, I can go 10K, but I'm bargaining. and with like that as our pool of money.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start lower.
Right. So
Start very low.
What he's indicating is he's tacking on an additional charge to whoever's paying for this. So if you're going to bargain, which you can, how are you going to finagle that in there? Are you putting your own money into the pot then from what the team is getting paid for? Or are you doing something else to bargain?
I'm trying to think of what I can do to bargain. All I can think of is money.
You could pump them for information.
Do you know how much we're supposed to pay?
No.
Right.
They
were never given up. You guys were never given any sort of like, pay this guy, collect this, whatever. It's get him and get out.
Okay,
So
now we're getting into my specialties. So I do have business, streetwise, and value.
Perfect.
So what do you want me to roll to figure out where I should start?
Business. That's the case.
Yay.
Let's go with business.
$20.
Wow.
Okay. Mike just got a re-roll from Davey.
Yay, thanks, Davey.
So business-wise, you guys are basically just the collection agents. So if you're going to haggle this guy down for price, you're going to want to figure out what he might need or what he might want. Trandoshans are typically hunters. If he's kind of like a middleman crime boss sort of thing, weapons are never a bad thing to bargain with. So in essence, you're kind of bargaining on behalf of whoever paid for all of this. Right. So if you can figure out a way to finagle that without having to kick over the additional money, like maybe there's extra weapons, or maybe there's some ore or something he can, resell or something like that, that might be worth his, that might be worth it.
We could take out a gang and sell their equipment to him.
We have one guy who's ready to do that.
Don't bite off more you can chew.
Or, he does run a bar. Bootleg or spice. Those are options too.
Do we have any of these things? Like,
you can always sell him the droid.
Well,
my droid's not ready to sell yet.
Right.
Tornar would probably have access to all that stuff.
Well, yeah, but then we'd have to go make sure we got that and delivered it in order to get this guy out of this bar.
Well, like I said,
you're up front.
At this point, you are in essence changing the deal as Lord Vader did with Boba Fett. Pray I do, or not with
altering the deal.
Pray I do not alter the deal.
Pray I do not alter it farther.
Yeah.
Right. So you're kind of acting on behalf of Torinar at this point. So it's up to you on how you want to negotiate that.
All right. Well,
like he's saying 1,000, right? Credits. You're clearly a savvy enough businessman. You could say, well, maybe our employer kicks down that in, additional alcohol that's tariff-free or something like that. So he gets more overhead when he sells it.
That could be good.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay.
Try to get him favorable supply runs for Tornar's organization.
Private supply. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll that for bargain then.
Okay. So here's the question: are we going to go piece by piece? Because I was going to blow my force point on this bargain roll.
No.
Okay, so this is it,
Yeah. So if you're going to bargain, go ahead and blow your point.
and it doubles my dice,
It
right?
doubles your die pool.
Wow.
Just the dice.
Yes, just the dice.
Okay.
Oh, so it'll be like 10 d6.
And by the way, I'm using the older version just because I like it cinematically. The newer rules, it just gives you an extra die.
Ooh.
So
37 with a 6 on the front. Hang on a second.
No.
Oh shoot!
wow.
And another 6.
Where are you rolling that? I don't see that.
Oh, you did that in the discussion.
Oh, I did it
chat.
in the
Okay.
discussion. Sorry, but that. So
Ouch.
Oh, I guess it doesn't count.
43, 44. I did it in the wrong channel.
Okay, it's fine. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
okay. So
I just wanted to see it. That's all. Like,
Yeah, there it is. Awesome.
all right. So he kind of sits and he thinks about that for a second, and he says,
A heroic and a half.
"Yeah, exactly." And he says, "So your employer can get me these cases tariff free, huh?"
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, I mean, you could see him like already starting to do the math in his head, like how he might price gouge it and figure that out, and how it could be like way more than the 1,000 that he's kicking on there.
I'm gonna put a time limit on it, like 6 months,
Sure.
which
Okay.
I'll let him negotiate back to a year if he wants to. But we're not gonna make this a permanent thing. We're gonna say,
Right.
for this period of time, we're gonna let you profit wildly off, this
Right.
private
That works.
bootleg.
And he says, "You know what, Bothan? I like your style." And so at that point, you end up seeing this. It doesn't look like he's been mistreated. It just looks like they've been obviously holding on to him. And they, hand him his pack and a blaster rifle that he had with him. And Ithorian just kind of shoves it into his chest. He's a big guy. He's also in a combat jumpsuit. And he's in the process of, reholstering his weapons. And he kind of looks to the two of you. And then he looks to Drade and he says, "What are you doing here, kid?"
I'm just following along, sir. I'm property. just a mule.
And he kind of looks to a second. He looks to to Montan, and now that you guys have gotten a look at him, he has a good bit of facial hair, but he's a clone.
Oh,
Shoot.
Oh,
Do I recognize who he is?
Why don't you give me a roll?
he looks like all the others.
I know, right?
You're all of them. No, just a perception roll.
execute Order 66.
I've seen your face before.
You look
Thousands
like
of times.
Django.
It's just a straight perception check.
Yes, and you're gonna need a 11 or higher.
Okay.
is Drade a clone?
Got a 13.
Okay. You actually do. And what is the even though again all the clones typically look alike, they do start having little ticks about them or slight changes like battle scar or whatever have you, as time wound on. This one, 1 second. I think I did have it right. Okay. You can see that he has what appears to be like a kind of a red handprint, but he's got it on, and it's kind of small, but it's on his chest plate. And when you knew him, he wore it right on his helmet.
Okay. All right. So then, seeing that, Dreyd's going to be like, I am honestly no one of consequence. If you wanted to know about me, we can talk later if Master allows.
Muted. No, I think our business is done. Let us go.
He says, yeah, master, right.
You should reprimand him for speaking up without being asked.
Montan doesn't know how to handle slaves.
My bad.
Actually, he might have an idea, but not personally.
Oh my.
Oh my.
All right. So
He's been around slavery before, so
yes. So you
I
you
bet he
three start walking out and keeping to the shadows at this point. I take it you're going to alert the folks at the cafe that the package
Yeah,
is in motion, or whatever code phrase you guys have used.
yeah, we're not going to head anywhere near the cafe. We're going to go straight for the hotel, but I will comlink over. Package acquired.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll look over to Altac. The floor is yours.
So we need to get to them and back them up.
No, we need a distraction.
Oh, well, that's easy enough. Are we in the cafe right now?
Yes.
We are.
You guys are hanging out front at this point.
The guys that are in here, are they known thugs? Like they've done like bad things and
Oh yes.
I will come right.
Sure.
I turn to Tycho. I'm like, how big of a distraction are we looking
As
at?
big as you want.
All right, I take my blaster out and I shoot the Thorian.
So you just shoot somebody in the cafe?
Yeah, so like I am like, you killed my wife, and I shoot the Thorian.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Go ahead. So there you have this. You have surprise at this point, so don't need to roll initiative, but we'll do that afterwards. So at this point, you're going to want to roll your blaster skill.
Okay. All right, let me get over here. Oh God, I'm sorry. My first roll all night. I'm so sorry. Pin message. There's no pin. Is it just MM or what am I doing here? Sorry.
/R.
/R.
Space, and then the number of D6, whatever your skill is.
KA. Beg KA.
And then plus the number.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever you've got.
So, and I don't need to put a D in there. I just put down 3 and then.
No, you need.
Oh no,
to put
you
a
have
D.
to write it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget the
it's
6.
it's the very basic dice roller.
Whatever.
where you
Oh, I'm
put
sorry.
the D.
D6 plus whatever.
Okay, 3d6 plus 2.
Your blaster is 3d6 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the skill? Right. The dexterity is what I'm looking at, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
I thought,
you want the.
Are you're using your
individual.
blaster, right?
yeah, my heavy blaster pistol.
Okay. Do you have that skill, and do you have like a number next to that skill? Like something.
So
D
look
plus
at your
something.
character sheet, Todd. Look at dexterity.
Yeah.
The first skill you have down from that is what?
Oh, I see.
And
It's
how?
blaster. I'm looking at blaster repair rather than blast. Okay, so 5d plus 2.
Nice.
That sounds better. That
Yay!
sounds much better.
We have a shooter.
I was going to be really worried. We got a second-rate
5d6
gunslinger.
plus.
He's scruffy looking.
So 18. What it says, ignored plus 2.
Right, because it's because of how you spaced it out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So it's 18 plus 2 is 20.
20. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, roll your damage
With
for
the 6
the.
at the end.
Roll your
But,
damage. Roll your damage for your blaster.
Okay, looking for it right now. Sorry. Damage is 5d.
Ooh.
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
about right.
/R 5d.
No,
5d6, sorry.
5d6.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be d6.
15.
Ooh.
Okay, boom.
Kablam.
Okay, so you shoot him. He buckles over the table from where he's at inside this cafe at this point. Everybody is jumping up and getting up in arms. And we are now in combat. They're all drawing their weapons on you.
Just for the notes, what started that?
Tycho said, make it a big distraction. I said, how big you want? He said, as big as you can make it. So I pulled out my heavy blaster,
Just shot somebody.
and I yelled out, "You killed my wife!" and I shot him.
he shot one of the thugs.
Yeah.
Yep, he shot one of the Ithorian thugs. Just boom.
Before I shoot again, I'd like to use intimidation to yell at the rest of the crowd and just yell at them. This is between him and me.
Okay, well, I will let you do that on your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just. That's what my plan is. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So I need to get the main book pulled up again. Hold on a second.
Ooh, how do we do initiative in this game?
I'm betting it's
typically-
with the D6.
Yeah, it's
Ah.
typically team based, if I remember reading that. Whoever has the highest perception rolls it. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
I have a 4.
I have a 3.
Perception. I have a 3.
I'm a 3D plus 2.
3 plus 1. Who has a 4?
Me?
Nice.
Colin. Nice.
Hold on one second. Should have been more prepared for this. I apologize.
I don't think he was planning on someone getting
Rough.
shot.
Rocks fall, the bad guys die.
Whoo! And they all like cower down. That Nodlin looks pissed. I'm not getting involved.
I found it's on page 78. The character with the highest perception on each side rolls for their side.
Okie doke. So,
There you go.
Colin, you're going to roll for perception.
All right.
Drum roll, please.
The character who gets the highest roll gets to decide whether his side acts first or last in that round.
12.
And keep in mind, ones here don't count.
Yeah.
Nothing but the wild die.
Cool.
Okay. So this kind of went about the way I thought. So you stood up, boom, and yelled, what you yelled. Colin, you made your roll for perception. Everybody at this point was, antsy or ready for action. So they're acting first, which means Colin has elected for your team to act last.
Okay.
All right. So everyone is taking a moment to draw their weapons. This will give you the opportunity. I don't know about the rest of you. They're all drawing their weapons right now and kind of moving into cover positions. Nasara, Tycho, Owen, Alatak. What are you guys doing?
Oh no, a gunfight.
This is prompting Owen since he has to keep his, because the only holster he had was a concealed one, to keep it concealed, to draw it and basically try and pop off a shot at one of the
Okay, so are you ducking for cover? Because you guys are outside the cafe right now.
Oh, yeah, he's
going to duck for cover.
Okay, so you're ducking for cover and drawing your weapon, which is fine. Nasara?
Same. I'm also taking cover and drawing.
Okay. A law attack?
I'd like to duck. I'd like to go for cover, but I'd like to change weapons.
Okay, so your action is to change weapons. You're moving to take some cover because you're right there at the door, so you can kind of duck down in front of the first booth if you want. Were you going to yell what you were going to yell?
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. If I change weapons, I won't be able to shoot then, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Then I don't want to change weapons. I'm going to duck for cover, and then I'm going to yell at the rest of the guys in there. Just, this is between me and that Thorian bastard.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for your intimidation. I can tell you right now, you are going to need one heck of an intimidation roll. So we're going to say it's at least a 16.
All right.
Oh, you got this. This is in the bag.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, you got this. You got
We'll
this.
see. We'll see. That would be very cool. Okay. Roll.
So keep in mind, you can spend a force point if you want. In this particular case, or you could spend character points. Which is basically your XP, but one character point equals a +1 to your die roll.
I don't know what that is. Where do I say that?
Every character starts off with 5.
Yeah, the first page, right-hand side, middle, you're going to select move, force sensitive, force points, dark side points, character points. If you're using the sheets that we have.
Yeah, I don't have character points.
Yeah, every character starts off with 5.
You start off with 5, yeah. So you have 5.
I'll put the 5 on there. Okay, so I want this to work. So is a force point the same thing as a character point then?
No. Force point is going to double your force points are actually going to double your dice pool.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a force point. And then how do I do the plus on the Discord? Because I did.
You don't
just put in the space, yeah.
Oh,
so don't put a space between the number and the plus.
Plus. Sorry, guys.
No,
where is intimidation? Intimidation. There it is. +1. Not 11. +1. Okay. So 46 plus 1 is 15 times 2 is 30.
It's not times 2. You add the
dice. I'm sorry.
So just roll 46 again.
Yeah, and then add that.
It's not 46 plus 1. It'll just be 46.
Right.
Okay. Roll 4d6. So 25 altogether.
Okay.
So hold on. You rolled a 6 as your first number on your original roll. So
Right.
roll a 1d6.
That's true.
Wild side dice blow up is basically what it comes down to. So the first number that's there, if it rolls a 6, then you roll one more d6 until you stop rolling d6s. Okay. So 25 plus 3.
28.
28.
Okay. So he yells, at this point, this is between, me and the Ithorian. Everybody's got their weapon pulled out. And of course, he angrily yells a statement. It's given everybody enough pause to realize that he's a Nalatan and that's an Ithorian. And they're like all of them are trying to do the mental gymnastics to figure out how that would even work. And they're like, okay, maybe we should, figure this out. And of course the Ithorian's like, this guy's crazy. I don't know what they're talking about.
I never even met his wife.
Exactly. All right. So, and Todd, I will get with you about your character after this game. Talk about it when the game stops. So at this point, we are back down to the next round of combat. So they are, I think, hold on a second. I think maybe this is one of the games where you roll every time for Army Initiative. Hey. Nope. Okay, that was a different game I've been studying. That's Savage Worlds. Okay. So they are going first. He turns around, and he's the only one to fire at this point.
Pew!
So he lets it rip with a shot. That's not great.
Oh.
No. Okay. So that shot came close, but it pounded right into the seat that you're ducking behind. At this point, the owner is screaming out, from the kitchen at this point, like, knock it off!
Take it outside.
So it is now everyone else's turn.
I'm going to be firing a shot off at one of the thugs, but preferably the over a wounded.
Okay, so Colin,
Althorian.
you do.
Wait, they didn't shoot at you guys, right?
Right, they did not. So did you hear what I just stated in character?
Oh, the take it outside thing.
No, I did not say that. Okay, so guys, I need you guys to dial back the out of character comments so continuity flows for game a little bit more, and it's easier for everybody to hear. Colin, I stated in character that Alotech has somehow convinced this group that it's a marital issue between these two, so nobody else is attacking. So if you jump in and fire, that gives everybody a chance to fire back at you at that point.
Okay, my bad.
That's okay. I just want to make sure you understood the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
So then what is everybody else going to do at this point?
Play it cool. Is there like a hold action?
I mean, if you're not doing anything, that is ultimately what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, it just hold in case things go south.
I'm gonna scan the outside the club or cafe.
Keep your eyes out, making sure nobody else comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Same
and
here.
roll. Okay. Go ahead and roll your perception.
Gonna use my macro binos for this one.
Straight perception.
It's not far enough to use your macro binoculars for something like that.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just use my perception.
Sure.
Oh, almost with that long chat.
11.
Get
I'm a high
down with
roller.
your bad self.
13.
All right. So both of you hit kind of the same difficulty. Looking around, keeping your heads on swivel, making sure nothing else is coming up. Nothing seems to be coming up just yet. Everything just started popping off just now. Tycho is just keeping low and making sure his head doesn't get shot.
Yep.
I was going to point the gun at the authority. Get out here! Get out here now!
Well, I mean, he shot at you. Are you going to shoot back, or are you demanding he come outside?
The owner said take it outside, so I'm gonna.
No one said take it outside. That
No, I'm
was
sorry.
somebody else said that.
No. The owner said
Knock it off.
knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
Since the owner said knock it off, I'm saying get out here.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll again? That would be command, I believe. Yep, that would be command.
I don't have command. I've got intimidation.
There's a skill for command.
Oh wait.
There
Yeah.
sure is.
Yeah, it's under perception.
Mm-hmm.
I just found it. Okay.
So since you don't have anything to it for you, Todd, it's just going to be
No.
3D
I've got it
plus
under
1.
perception. I see it.
No, I know, but you don't have anything added to it. So all you're going to be adding is 3D plus 1.
Yeah.
Hmm?
3 1s.
No, wait.
No, because you didn't put down a 6 after the D.
Yeah.
You didn't write down the D6. You
Oh,
just said
okay.
3D. Yeah, and on the sheet, they don't bother saying 6 because they're always D6. But
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that really messed us up the first game.
Yeah.
we would have done a lot better narratively if we'd noticed that we left off the sixes.
There we
Okay.
go.
Ooh,
Cool.
roll again.
Roll your d6 again.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
1d6.
1d.
Let's go.
Okay, so
So
18.
18.
Nice. Okay. So between the two at this point, so yeah, the guy is, he's still got his blaster drawn. The owner of the establishment, he's got a security droid coming from the back and is pulling out a light repeating blaster, which for those of you who don't know what a light repeating blaster looks like, you might want to look up like an M60 in real life. It looks kind of like that. It's big and bulky.
Or an M18 if you're interested.
And throws a lot of pain downrange.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's also what I have on my back.
So, it's come walking out, and so he sees that, and he sees that for whatever reason, his gang isn't doing anything, about this. And so he keeps his weapon drawn, and he starts like slowly approaching. He's like, I don't know who you are, man. The heck's your problem? You got scop on your brain?
Get out here and let's talk. You're lucky I don't blow your head off right now.
So he starts approaching, but now his gang starts getting up.
Jerome, how many of them are there?
There are 8, including the Authorian.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So, how close is Tycho to me?
You are still at the door inside, presumably stepping backwards because you keep asking him to come outside.
Yeah.
So you're approaching Tycho again, but Tycho is still a good maybe 10, 15 feet from you.
Okay. And like the rest of the party, they're all pretty far away, right? As I'm backing out.
No, they were all near the front. They just kind of ducked for cover.
Okay.
Which ducking for cover is like right where the speeder bikes are parked.
Ooh.
Maybe we should take the bikes.
I don't know if you guys know how to steal bikes or not, but
They will never leave you alone after that.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to keep them.
I'm backing out, guns still drawn. I'm pointing it at him. Get out here now.
That's currently going on, but now his gang is following.
Okay.
Can Tycho do something?
It's your round at this point.
All right. Seeing that the gang is coming towards it, Tycho's going to be like, "Hey, why don't you just do it mano a mano? Nobody gets hurt. Why don't the gang sit back down?"
Okay. Tycho, why don't you roll your command or persuasion?
Oh. Can I turn it? Can I turn this into a command?
Nope.
Okay.
But thank you for asking.
Next round may be a command. You can get pissed off and command them, but
Yeah, no, I was gonna reword what okay, but let's go. Yes.
I missed it. What was it?
I got a 6 on the wild die.
Nice.
13. A whopping 13.
So you blew up with a little.
Yep.
Okay. So at that point, the gang at this point, they've all got their hands on their blasters, ready to start throwing down. The owner, has got, his droid out with light repeating blaster. He's drawing his weapon. Alotech is backing up out of the place, with his blaster already pointing the guy. The guy's already got his blaster pointed at Alotech. And one guy from the gang is like, is like, yeah, I thought that's what was happening already, stupid.
Oh, okay.
Jerome, what are their colors?
Their colors are a dark gray and red.
I don't suppose we would have any idea what the other colors are. The other gang's colors?
That is a great question. And do you happen to have cultures or politics?
Yes. I can roll
Ooh.
cultures. And I got a 1.
Woohoo! Yeah, so the other gang colors that and you are like 100% positive of this, it's like hot pink and yellow.
Okay, I'll go with it. So Nassar will say, I thought you said that he had a hot pink and yellow colors. This is not the right guy.
And so, and like the gang, so why don't you, since you threw that out there, why don't you roll your persuasion, Nasara?
$15.
Still managed to eke out a 15 with that one. Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty sad, huh?
Jeez, all the 2s in one.
Yeah, well, you got 2 2s and a 1. That kind of dragged it down. But you had a bigger dice pool. That's what was important. Okay. And so, like, at that point, like, the gang starts, some of them kind of like looking back and forth, like, pink and yellow. Like, they're trying to, like, make it, like, because it's not dawning on any of them. But they took it seriously enough due to the fighting, you know, that was going on. Like, they're honestly trying to figure, it's like, who the heck, where's like they're really like, you know, you can hear them like murmuring, trying to figure out like, who the heck is this gang that they're referring to?
What
And
gang
then
is that?
she's gonna yell to Alatek, "Are you colorblind? This is clearly not the right one."
So I'm gonna look over at her like and see like what she's trying to do at this point, I guess. And I'm like, well, colors are different under the water. What are you talking about?
Okay, roll your Alatek, roll your persuasion at this point. Trying to sell this lie.
Sorry, it's hard to scroll on here.
It's on your
Persuasion.
perception.
Basically, she's trying to de-escalate so they don't have to shoot
Right,
8 gang members.
right,
Yep, yep.
exactly.
Okay, 3D plus 1.
It's always 3d6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
remember,
I-
everything
I
is d6.
I've got to say that, otherwise I'm gonna type it in wrong.
Mhm.
3D6 plus 1. Boom. 12.
Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Oh, too shopping.
So at this point, they're, you know, everyone's going like, wait, and so then like one guy goes, and he's like, hey, wait a minute, that's so and so's gang, and they're like, and they like, you know, kind of looking around. And so then the Thorian that you shot, you know, he's like taking a moment to kind of, you know, rub his shoulder where he got you know, shot with a blaster. And then he's like, but I didn't have anything to do with them either. And then the guy's like, well, this moron just said everything looks different underwater.
Owen just stands up and tries to de-escalate things and just says, I apologize for this whole thing, gentlemen. Apparently things do look different underwater, and due to the whole color mishaps, I very do much apologize for my friends
Okay, Colin, go ahead and roll your
jumping the
persuasion.
gun, so to speak.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your persuasion, Colin.
17.
Wow.
And that is with a 2 and a 1 in there too. Not bad.
5
Okay.
D6. Very nice.
So he, so Owen at this point kind of comes in there and plays some, word salad there to manipulate the situation too. And, and so at this point, the Ithorian walks up and grabs, Elotech by, his jumpsuit and lifts him up off the ground a little bit.
Oh, God.
And he's like, "You owe me 50 credits, punk. Pay up."
Tycho will run up and.
Oh, I have an idea.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Uh-oh.
How tall is he?
Ithorians are usually somewhere around the range of like high 6 foot, 7 foot.
Jeez.
They're big.
Okay, so would I be able to tell if he has like credits on him? I have an idea about like pickpocketing him and then giving it back to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible he has credits on him.
Okay, so I'll go up to him and I'll be like, "Look, I'm sure we can figure that out." And I'm gonna like kiss his shoulder where he got shot. And like at the same time, like use that as a distraction
Okay.
to pick his pocket.
Roll your persuasion first.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Please don't roll once.
Oh my God.
Oh, thank you.
26,
Wow.
24.
24.
Nice.
The
Okay.
Brittany curse didn't come into play.
Oh my gosh.
the distraction is in place. A very pretty
Okay.
Twi'lek came up and kissed him on the shoulder. He is he's not minding that. Now your pickpocket.
Please don't roll badly. 16.
Nice.
Okay.
A
That
round of applause for Brittany.
That puts you at a difficult range, which is more than enough given the fact that he was distracted. So you kind of manually do a Jedi mind trick. Yeah, real quick. That's those street smarts that you had back on Onderon are paying off at this point. And you quickly with one hand kind of pat him on the shoulder and give him that kiss to draw the attention up there and distract him. On the other hand, dips down further on his leg, gets one of the pockets of his overalls and pulls out a couple coins. You're like, sort of thing.
She's gonna count it quickly and then.
You're not gonna have time.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you are not. It's literally
Okay.
like, and you're presenting it sort of thing, and
Okay.
and so he just takes it at that point and he says, "You watch yourself, Mister."
All right. Okay.
And like the rest of the gang at this point are like starting to puff up, a little bit, like, yeah.
I take the blaster, I put it back in the holster, and I'm like, wait, and I pull off one of my backpacks, and I'm opening up the backpack, and I'm like, I can heal that.
Ooh,
Or you can pay to get it healed. That's fine. And I start putting my backpack back on my
no,
shoulder.
well,
again.
hang on.
Well, like,
Let's roll persuasion again.
I think that was 3D plus 1. Yes, 3D6 plus 1. Backslash R. 3D6 plus 1. It's an 8.
No, you didn't roll correct.
What did I do wrong?
Oh, you got F.
3F plus 6 plus
Wow.
1.
6 plus 1.
So
How do
3
you roll
fail,
an-
6 plus 1 equals 0.
Oh no!
And he rolled a 1. Okay, so
Oh, it's an 8.
well, yeah, it doesn't matter. You got
Yeah.
a 1 for your first number, so that's a fail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's basically a botch.
Okay.
So he's like, and he takes his foot and like kicks you backward a little ways, like, get out of here, runt. And be fortunate I don't make you eat that blaster.
Okay, so I'm thinking that our distraction has been successful, so I'm not going to intimidate her.
Yeah, good. It's good enough. Yeah, you might not want to pursue.
Right. So I just take them. I take it, and I'm backing up. I'm not turning my back to him, but I'm backing up to join the rest of the group.
Okay.
And Nassar is going to say, I don't suppose you know where we could find that other gang. The pink one?
The pink and yellow.
Yeah, the pink and yellow. Why don't why don't you roll another persuasion check? See if you can coax this out of somebody in the crowd.
So he's just going to make it up. I know.
27.
Oh, good God.
Oh, God.
All right, so
that is in the very difficult range.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so at that point, like one guy is like kind of looking at you, and he's kind of like, "Yeah, I know how you can find him." He says, "Why don't you come over here? I'll be happy to."
Oh, yeah.
What does this guy look like?
He's okay looking, very rough though. Rough and tumble. Got a kind of full beard going on. He is human looking.
He looks aggressive, I'm guessing.
All of them look aggressive. Yes.
Okay, I'll bite.
Okay. So as you approach at this point, he puts a hand around your waist, pulls you in for a big kiss.
I'm gonna draw my blaster and put it in his ribs just so that we're clear.
Okay. And so
not like that, just like
yeah, that's fine. And he looks down and he says, "Respect." He says, "You sure you don't want me to make those Leku twitch?"
just give us some directions.
Fair enough, sweet thing. Fair enough. You can find those. You can find that crowd up on level 20. They tend to roll with some higher odds makers.
All right. No harm, no foul.
One for the road.
She'll kiss him on the cheek.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, the rest of the gang at this point were like, like it was, going to happen again. Didn't get that kiss, and they're like, ah! They hackle him a little bit,
And then.
And he's like, all right. He kind of walks away, a little bit more sure of himself now.
All right. So she'll holster her blaster and start walking away.
Okay. And all of you start walking away at this point. That is where we're going to stop for the evening. As everybody has, in a roundabout way, through a good bit of teamwork, successfully got out of that mess. Without having to blow everything up.
Yes.
Scrape anyone off the floor.
Yeah. Or yourselves, for that matter.
Out of the carpets.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously we're not going to have any other games this week because we've got a convention coming up this weekend. Our next game coming up is next week. So on Wednesday and Thursday, we have Street Fighter and we have Cyberpunk, respectively. Both starting at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tune in for those particular games if you're interested. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us and some of the folks who popped in over from the other Star Wars Facebook groups to say hi. We appreciate it. Be sure to check it out. Check out our video on demand, and of course, we have our videos all uploaded onto YouTube. So, with the exception of this video, everything is still up to date. So, thank you guys all again, and have a good one. What was that?
You want to tell them about our panels?
Oh well, yeah. We'll have our panels posted to our YouTube group as well, because I plan on filming them. The first one, one is our world building panel, where we're going to talk to people who are probably new to the hobby or newer and are trying to do something custom for their players and just want somebody to throw extra ideas at that aren't their players. So it's going to be, so if you happen to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion this weekend, be sure to check out our panel. It's going to be at 10:30 a.m. on Friday. And then at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, we're doing Fun with Flaws, a character discussion about how flaws are not bad but are good and can help spark character growth and development, and also some potential new flaws that you might have. Of course, both particular panels are going to be system agnostic, so you can kind of mix and match or do whatever you want for whatever game system you might be running. So.
I like that. System agnostic. That's a great
So thank you again all for everybody who tuned in, and you guys have a great night. Good night, guys.
Night.
Night.